2, 1. We are live, guys. How's it going? Wow, what a game, man. What a game. We finally got the curse broken. The curse has been broken. The Fever come back from the brink of essentially a disaster and stop the 3-game slide. They have no Caitlin, but what they do have is teamwork, and they've got some new players that have been really making a difference. Tonight was crazy. They were obviously making a difference in practice. Obviously, the chemistry is there. You've got McDonald, who is, I'm sorry, I said players. One player. I don't know. For some reason, I thought McDonald was working so hard. It felt like two new players out there. They're just powerful again. I just feel really excited about what they brought to the table. My name is Jason J. Daniel, and this is the Jason J. Daniel Show. I like to do Fever Talk, so we're doing some Fever Talk after the game. What a fun game. That was a lot of fun. If you're not watching the games with Caitlin Clark not in them, you're missing out. You're missing good basketball. Even when they have lost, they have still had stretches of good basketball. This is a great win. 85-76, getting all mystical on the Mystics, teaching them a lesson, letting them know you can't come into their house and punk them. Not again. The Mystics came in. They're young. They're edgy. They've got energy. They've got a couple of rookies that really were bringing it. They're very fundamental. I like watching them shoot some shots, except the ones that were going in. I like their game, but I also liked what the Fever brought. The Fever played so well. There was so much energy out there. It felt like there were six players on the court. It really did. We have not seen that energy in games, maybe since the Sky game. Colson looked really good. For being hurt, looked really good. Got dinged up a little bit, took some shots, still played really well, hung in there to the very end. And what can you say about McDonald? I mean, I just feel like McDonald brings, it's almost like two new players on the court. It's like having another point guard and also another defender, drawing fouls, getting chippy, getting edgy, getting in the face of the opposing team, getting hit really hard and taking the flops. I love it. The curse is broken, guys. Oh man, really excited. It's been a long day for me. So I'm glad to get going. It even took me some time to get on. Life is crazy, right? We all have crazy lives. We're all just trying to live this thing out. But basketball is one of the things that we could dive into and really find some comfort in that. When life's crazy, at least sports can take us away from that. And this was a great game. This is a really, really great game. Okay, so again, my name is Jason J. Daniel. If you just watch me for the first time, I do Fever Talk. I'm a podcaster. I do a lot of other things. But right now we're going to talk Fever. I like to do a Fever post-game show. And here we go. I'm going to pin this to my profile here on X, and we're going to do a quick sound check. Make sure our sound is good. But right now we're going to talk Fever. That is awesome. All right. Let's see here. And we're going to, I forgot to put some hashtags on here. So let's do this. Bear with me, guys. Check out tonight's recap. A lot going on. I had some phone calls coming in. Sorry, it was a little crazy night for me. My apologies. We're all friends here. Let's see here. Got to get my hashtags on. And then here we go. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, cool. Okay, so sorry about that. I know that's boring. That's really boring. So the curse is broken. So tonight they came out with a lot of energy right in the very beginning. It was just like I said earlier. I felt like it was like 6 players on the court most times. It was really crazy. Starting 5 came out really strong. Keys to the win. I saw some keys right away with what was going on the court. One of the major keys is that from what I saw differently is just the wild ball movement, man. Just a lot, really good, crisp passing. When it was almost like a Bulls kind of triangle style offense when You got everybody on the outside of the key that's supposed to be there. You got penetration in the middle. You've got Boston kind of hanging outside the key, which I don't love, but I can work with that. And then when the defense starts closing on whoever has the ball, you're just seeing them just get that out, right? Move it aside. When the defense is coming in and they don't have that extra step for the shot, you're seeing them fake that shot and send it another direction. Really, really great, fine basketball. A lot of good that always comes out of that. McDonald and Colson on the floor together make this team much faster. Now, when Caitlin's on it, it's very fast. This team was really fast tonight. We have not seen that kind of speed in 3 games probably since Caitlin was out. One of the things we saw was the offense kind of getting mucky, right? And kind of everybody bumping into each other, not really sure where the play was being developed. You saw a lot of one-on-one basketball, especially from your forwards. You saw that a little bit in the first quarter tonight, but then they got out of it. And, I think you got to let your point guards cook. And McDonald already clearly has the trust of the team. Colson, McDonald play really well together, makes the team much faster. I was wondering if they were going to go to maybe a bigger guard set, maybe have Lexi Hull bring the ball up a little bit. They didn't. They kept that 1-2 punch of Colson McDonald, and they just knew the assignment. I really, really love that. So you had that was a huge key. And then Colson knows the role. Colson is playing the point guard role and looking to pass before shooting. I love that. And there were moments where Colson got some nice, easy, wide open shots, nice and easy, and made it happen. Really good shooting percentage. Everybody shot really well. Still some free throw struggles, but I can work with that. Look, when you're up by 14, when you're up by 16, when you're up by 7, when you win by 9, I'm not good with leaving points on the table, but that means you're able to overcome that. Usually missing free throws will kill you, but they got a lot of opportunities. I have to say there was a little bit of cooking, but you cannot complain about the opportunities. So Colson knows the role. That was really, really, really fun. I'm asking myself, how is McDonald not on anybody's roster? That was wild. Just came out and played really well. Let's see here. McDonald played. Ari McDonald, 27 minutes, 2 for 7. Let's see here. And then, but which was interesting, but 28%. Didn't really shoot well. Didn't shoot well, but distributed that ball really well. I love that. 5 assists. That was crazy. 7 points altogether. Hit a clutch 3, 50%. So not a good shooting night for McDonald, but what McDonald brought with presence and defense, undeniable. Honestly, it felt like 2 different players. It just felt like adding a second player on the floor. That defensive mindset missing. I don't know. It's got to be McDonald coming in, Colson feeling good, that chemistry, but the defense was locking down and trapping. We have not seen that in 3 games. They were feeling it. Let's see here. Dantas had a great game. Lexi Hull was a star. Kelsey Mitchell won that game for you guys, 24 points. Kelsey, we'll get into that. Kelsey won that game for you. And Cowboy Kelsey came through. And I like that in the fourth. Give me some Cowboy Kelsey when you got a 4-point lead. I'll take that. Give me that. Kelsey Mitchell was getting a lot of opportunities at the stripe. Let's see here. 4 for 7. Missed 6 for 10. Missed 4, 60% of the stripe. That's okay. Was overall 50% shooting, 14 shots. A lot of shots, but again, in the very end, third to the fourth, when they were trying to nail that game, Kelsey Mitchell was just given the ability to just let it rock, and I'm good with that because you can afford missing some shots or playing a little more undisciplined when you have a pretty substantial lead. And also, I could tell that the Mystics broke down in the third quarter, like mentally. There was a moment where one of their players was at the stripe, missed 2 free throws. You could see at the end of that third they were breaking down. So when you have the team breaking down mentally, you can get a little crazy. That's when your luck's gonna really come into play. But back to McDonald, what a great pickup! A great pickup. I'm not really sure how the hardship exception works. I think they can keep McDonald on roster for a while. Because of the hardship exception, I should look into that a little bit. I do know that they're over the cap and they can add this player as obviously as we've got Cunningham who's trying to heal up, not a real worry to rush her back. She brings it. When she brings it, she's 100%. But we need her to be 100% healthy. Caitlin obviously is clearly looking good. Her aura's good. This is a good rest for her. Something that I did note is that on the box score, I'm not sure if this is an error with the WNBA, but Caitlin and Sophie Cunningham were listed as able to play. They were not listed as did not. Now they did not participate. They were not a coach's decision not to play, but they were listed as, now they weren't suited up, but they were listed on the box score as able to play. That's interesting to me. But they are on the official injury report. They are listed as out. So those are your keys to the win. Other than that, man, I'm just really glad that they're able to get healthy. This is an opportunity for their team to get healtty. Colson took some dings, got hit in the nose, was bleeding. Just a really tough customer. It's nice to see that she's feeling good, played at full strength. You've got obviously Caitlin on the mend, Caitlin Maximus, and you've got Cunningham, who looked really good. They're all sitting there on the sidelines. They're joking around. They're looking healthy. That's what you want. They're feeling good because they know the team has got it going. And with that ball movement we saw, also, I don't know. Let me see if I put this. Here's another key that was crazy to see. The hustle in the glass was wild. In the first and second quarter, they weren't really rebounding as good as we wanted them to, but they were crashing. They were crashing, getting jump balls. They were putting pressure on the defensive rebounders when it was offensive rebound time and vice versa. I love that. They were putting pressure on the Mystics to look over their shoulder when the ball's coming off the backboard, and I could tell they were being really strategic. They were putting a little bit of air into their jumps when they're trying to jump and get that ball. I could just see more energy. It was a home game. They needed to right the ship. They needed to break the curse. Everything was there. The energy was there, except for the crowd. It was really weird. The crowd didn't have the energy, but everybody else on the court did. And I thought that was a really great sign for what's coming in the next week. So you've got a Thursday game. You got a Saturday game. 2 more games without Caitlin this week. And then next week, if all goes well, you're going to have her back for and not the Sky game, but you'll have her back. I think it's the Liberty game. I believe I could be wrong, but you will have her back pretty soon. But that hustle, the energy and the hustle was fantastic. Going into the game, obviously I have my thoughts, my pregame thoughts, right? And one of my pregame, so on my pregame thoughts, I always think ahead and go, okay, what do we want to look for in this game? One of the things I thought we really needed to look for was let's just get somebody to put some extra points in. Let's just get some extra contributions. Now the stats been something that folks have been talking about for the last day. The combined losses that the Fever have had in the last 3 games, they've lost by a total of 11 points if you add all of that together. That's quite interesting, right? So it just goes to show you, okay, if you're not going to make free throws, then somebody needs to contribute. And we saw that. We have Lexi Hull stepped up her offensive game, 14 points. She had some really great layups. She's so precise. Boston had 10 points, but she was 5 for 5. Her shooting percentage is 100%. That's crazy, man. That's wild. The Mystics did a great job keeping her out of the key, but I liked Boston at least, really, and she got in foul trouble again. They're going to have to work on that. But as soon as she got in there and had a chance to attack the hoop, she looked really technical, and I love that. Kelsey Mitchell, again, a 24-point game. That was amazing. Colson gave you 7 points. McDonald gave you 7 points. Dantas gave you 8 points. Bonner gave you 9 points. Let's see. Howard gave you 6. Everybody, it seemed like everybody scored. A real team effort. And so mission accomplished, ladies. That's amazing. So my thought was we need more contributors scoring-wise. Now, look, you scored 85 points, okay? But And so you weren't blowing the roof off, but you didn't score 79, you didn't score 81, you scored 85. That 4-point margin could give you the victory. And again, I'm just like, look, if you're not going to get free throws, let's get some offensive help here. So one of the other keys I thought, which was important, was Boston. Boston's key. Get the ball to Boston. Get that. They need to establish that low post game. Everybody's killing them in the low post because for some reason, there was a lot. I was noticing that there was a lot of hesitation to try to get that pass inside the key to her. Either, they were just playing some defenders with longer arms. Not sure quite what that was, but I was seeing that a little bit in this game. But what I saw also was more low passing to her and just more faster, quicker passes. Colson was fearless. McDonald, they're just trying. You could tell they were on a mission to get the ball to Boston. Again, Boston is key. When you win, she has 100% shooting, 80% shooting, 5 for 5 like for tonight. When they win, Boston has a great shooting percentage. That's been one of the things that has driven their wins. So I was looking for that. And the other thing I was looking for is just don't fucking lose. That's another key to the game. Don't lose this. I felt really, really confident this would be a win at home. I predicted it today, but I'm not. Last week when I looked at the schedule, I did some predictions. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at that video again. I'm not sure if I predicted that they would win tonight, but I did predict, that they would only lose 8 games this season. We're still on track for my prediction. We're still doing pretty good. And they have a very favorable next couple of games. They have momentum. They're coming off this win. Huge, huge win. Really important win. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, it's the Mystics, all these things. It's a young team. Is it the second youngest team? But, you can't take anything for granted. Again, like I've said in the past, everybody's going to come hard for this team. Everybody that shows up, especially when you're in that arena, even with Caitlin just there, it's a psychological bump for these teams. They're really going to want to get a win in Indiana. Believe it or not, it's hard to win there. The Mystics could not do it tonight. So that is something that a lot of teams coming in are going to really be concerned with. Guys, again, if you're just joining me, my name is Jason J. Daniel. I do a Fever podcast after every game, doing a post game, working on some fun interviews, some sports interviews. We do a lot of sports. I have a sports TikTok that has over 8,000 followers. We just broke 8,000 this week. Thank you, guys. Real Jason J. Daniel. They call me Coach GOAT on the old TikTok machine. So follow me on TikTok. If you see this and you like what's going on X, because we're streaming live on X, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Rumble right now tonight. If you like this show, click the link to get to my TikTok or put in Real Jason J. Daniel and follow me on TikTok. I give you fever news, breaking news, injury reports, and some other cool stuff that I do on the TikTok. There's my little ad. Okay, so let's get to the game breakdown. Let's get to that. Let's do a little game recap. The Fever did. Here's what I'll just say for the recap. Well, this will be a shorter show tonight, guys. Got some stuff to do. The Fever did exactly what they need to do to a team like this at home. When you have a team like the Mystics, Connecticut, Phoenix, maybe. Yeah, I think they're kind of struggling. Teams that struggle, this is what you need to do at home if you are the Fever. This is what this looks like. Just like this. This is the formula. A fun home game, fast pace, make the crowd happy, hard, good rebounding, sweet layups, a team play, good guard play, hitting some threes. A lot of three-pointers were taken. A lot of three-pointers were made. That's what you need. So tonight was huge, huge, huge for a lot of reasons. One, you're riding the ship. You were cursed, okay? You got an injury curse. You got a losing curse. You're dropping huge leads. That all stopped tonight. Everybody's feeling healthy. Everybody's looking better. You got the win at home, which was important. You can't lose close ones at home. And it was a dominant win. They dominated most of this game. The third quarter was fantastic. Now the refs started chefing it up and cooking it up, and that broke up the rhythm, and then that lead got cut, but they never lost the lead. And that's what good teams do, especially at home. The Fever, they're still a bad team. Okay, this is one win at home against a team that's much weaker. Still a bad team, but they're getting better. This is the way to get better. And man, I got to tell you, with Caitlin coming back, they'll have to make some adjustments. Obviously, McDonald and Colson won't get as many minutes, but it'll be nice to see how that shapes out with Caitlin coming back. At least you know now, if one of them back her up, you're not losing a lot. You're not, and I love that. So they did what they had to do. So in the first quarter, a lot of hustle on the glass. Here's my notes from the game. I thought it was a decent first start. KELSEY Mitchell came out a little shaky, but that's changed, which I love. I'm just like, Colson and McDonald, man. I love that combo, man. I was like, man, give me some more McDonald and Colson on the floor. I'm like, what are they? Their numbers are 21 and 2. I'll take the combo. I'll take a 21 and a 2, please. I'll take that for 2 quarters. Thank you. I was like, we ordered this up. I love this. I love how McDonald came in and was just looked like she'd been on this team for weeks. Just looked really good. They were giving up a lot of open shots, something they got to work on, but that's okay. And the Mystics were knocking those down. It was still a close first quarter, but the thing about open shots that a team is knocking down, you're not going to be hot the whole game. And when you're not hot, the other team has to take advantage of that, and the Fever did. Mitchell was a little shaky early, but then started playing solid. And I was feeling good about LEXI Mitchell. She's starting to turn to LEXI Mitch Chill, and that's what we need. She has gotten the memo that she can't go out there and jack up 15, 16 shots and have nothing to show for it at the end of the game. So she got the memo. That was good stuff. In the second quarter, they were starting to feed the big dog. They're starting to feed it to Boston. Again, Boston was 5 for 5, 100% shooting. Great stuff. A little shaky at the line, missed 2 a little later on in the game, which was weird, but that's okay. So they're feeding the big dog. She starts off with a huge second quarter. And I tell myself, this is what I say, self. Hello, self. If they win, it's because they started feeding her in the second half, and they did. That was really key. She got into foul trouble in the first quarter. Not sure what's going on with that. I have to start watching her game a little bit more. I really thought the refs were kind of chefing it up and cooking it against her. They might be, but maybe she's just a little undisciplined, right? That could be it. And if you're not in control of where your arms are, your elbows are, your hips are, they're going to call you for the fouls, especially, obviously, the Fever. We know they're not going to get any favors. Boston did some nice post work. And I was just like, yeah, it was just so nice. Colson was coming alive, really tough, taking some hits. Like, I love this. And then, it was really important. The one thing I really noticed about now in the second quarter, I really, really noticed that the ball movement was really wild. I was like, this is a great sign. The ball movement is super, super, super dope. And they were really moving it. They were moving it, but then they were slowing it down at times. They were mixing it up. So I think the Fever do understand that every team is going to prepare to shut down that fast break when Caitlin's not there. You can't do it when she's there. One of the brilliant things about Caitlin Clark, I guess I'll put this here. Oh, I forgot my lucky basketball, guys. My lucky basketball. Signed by Caitlin. Well, not really, but I'm pretending it was. It's got. I'll take this off so you can see it. It's got Caitlin Clark's signature right there. Bam. One of the things about Caitlin is you cannot take that fast break away from her. It's impossible. She works around you. You just have to try to contain it. But without her, it's easy to take that away from this team. But they're getting better. Where's my? Oh, here it is. Okay, so the rebounding, they got into trouble, but I was okay with it because the one thing that was important to me was that they were hustling and they were crashing the glass. And in the first part of the game, the first part of the game, the second quarter, it wasn't going their way, but I knew it would eventually because they didn't give up. And that's really tough when you're not getting the rebounds, you're putting your body into it. to continue to keep putting your body into it and eventually hoping that pays off, that's discipline, and it's good coaching, and it will pay off. And then DB got cooked with a fake technical, which was weird, where she slammed the ball down and said something. And what was so strange is on the replay, her hair was covering what she said. That was just ridiculous. That again, and I was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, we're gonna cook it. But then you're back to the awesome ball movement. I was just like, okay. We got the ball movement again. I'm loving that. And then McDonald and Colson on the floor just started to really, really press and make the game faster right towards the end of the second, which was really dope. I was just really, the pace was just perfect to take the Mystics out of their rhythm. They're so good on the floor together. They really are. I got my pages mixed up here. That's why I was looking for. Okay. So, then it was the game kind of went back and forth a little bit. The lead decreased. They did lose. The Fever did lose the lead. It was they were seesawing a little bit. And then KELSEY Mitch Chill just walks up to the 3-point line, hits a big smooth three. It's very smooth. DB started drawing some fouls, working and hustling off the ball. Then they started running some traps. And then DB had an open three and just knocked it down. It was a great first half. I was really excited about that. And I was just asking myself, how's McDonald not on a roster before today? What an amazing steal. If the Fever eventually get to Eastern Conference Finals, which I think they're destined to get to, and even the finals, if they can get that far, a lot of folks are going to look back and go, this pickup with McDonald was so key during this stretch where Caitlin was hurt, because it's a lot about momentum. It's a lot about momentum. They come back in the third quarter. Mitchell gets hot. Colson gets hot. It was hot. Everybody was getting hot. Colson was knowing the role. Every time Colson came in, just pushing. Even had a couple of open shots, knocking down some shots. They get the lead back. And then Mitchell starts to chill a little bit, going into Mitch chill, letting the game come to her. I loved that. I really loved that. And this was when the third quarter was when this made me so happy to see. This is when if this was the moment I felt like the curse was finally broken, because you knew that they came up, they got a huge lead. Eventually it was like 16 points, 10 points. The lead, they got a strong lead, did not evaporate like what they did later on in the fourth, but we'll get into that. But it didn't evaporate. It didn't get away from them. I thought they were slowing down the offense when they needed to, when they had an opportunity, when they got the lead and they had an opportunity at a rebound, opportunity for a fast break or a tough rebound, like a scramble, hit the ball hitting the floor and then, somebody grabbing it and trying to get that fast break. When it was appropriate, they were slowing it down and calling a play, because they didn't need to run a fast break when you're up by 10. You don't. That's when you go clock management, because you have to go, what's our most important thing? What's our most important objective? 1, don't get hurt anymore. 2, win this game at home. Get a win. Win by 1 point. You don't need a 10-point, 20-point win. You got a 9-point, which we'll take, but you just need a win. So when you have a lead and you have problems with the lead evaporating, get your team to slow it down. Good coaching. I got to tell you, Stephanie is impressing me every time. This tough stretch they went through is really impressing me. The one thing that I'm impressed with this team all the way through is their ability to take the memo and adjust and really put effort into being better, just 10% better. Every game has been better, even though they've been losing, and it's been heartbreaking. I feel like they're trying to put it together, and tonight it finally came together. And that shows you a lot about the mental fortitude of this team. It also shows you later on in the season, if they go through a tough stretch, lose some games, or somebody gets hurt again, they're going to be okay because they faced it early and they got through it. They overcame. That is so important. That is the lesson, I think, in this, is can you overcome an obstacle or more than one obstacle as a team and pull out of this curse as a team, because you got here as a team, and the only way to get out of it is as a team. That was really important for me to see, and I hope you saw that too as a Fever fan, because they're setting themselves up for success that could be unstoppable. This team now gained that momentum back. This was a really solid win, and the curse has been broken. Not just to win. So you can win and still be cursed. It's about the attitude, the momentum, the tolerance for pain, the tolerance for obstacles, the hustle on the glass, the ability to discipline yourself, get some three-point plays, which they got like 3 of them, hit those free throws. They were getting a little better. They gotta improve, but they're working on it. The obstacles came. You saw a lot of those obstacles happen in this game. They got dinged up. They lost the lead a little bit. They had refs working against them. Everything that could go wrong went wrong in this game, but not so bad that they couldn't overcome it and overcome those obstacles. And that's what makes a team strong. And that's how you break the curse. So I was pretty happy about that. So LEXI Mitch Chill hits a big smooth 3, which was pretty dope. I love that. And DB again was in and out, but played really well when she was in. Mitchell hit that. Then Mitchell gets a 3-point play towards the end of the third, and the crowd was dead. I'm like, what? I was like, did I miss that? I had to rewind it. I'm like, did I imagine that? It was crazy. She got a 3-point play and had an opportunity for free throws. Like, she missed one, so that sucked. You got to hit those, but I'll take it. I tell you what, if Kelsey had hit her free throws, she'd have a 30-point game. Pretty nice. Really great defense. And then I did see, some bright spots from the Mystics. They were trying to roar back. Kiki was really solid, 9 for 11, 81% shooting. So fundamental. 100% at the free throw. Sonia Crichton, she's a little overhyped. I got to be honest. I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. I know we've seen her play before, but I wasn't impressed. Was not impressed tonight. She's really just kind of edgy and physical, which it's almost like their version of Lexi Hull. But 1 for 3 at the 3-point line. She did hit her free throws, shot 62%, but not good enough. But I think look, it's what they have. They're 1-2 punch, but they're growing. They could have beat the Fever if the Fever didn't put their foot on the pedal. So then Lexi hits a big 3, man. Man, she's so good. She is so good. Lexi Hull is so valuable. I don't know how much more to say it. Watching her play is just exciting when she gets the ball. It's almost like, it's not quite like Caitlin, but when she gets the ball, you get very excited. What will she do with this? She can score. She can beat you a lot of different ways. So you got the wild ball movement. Colton is in the zone, man. She's got the give and go, working with Boston. She was directing traffic. Just a really great basketball IQ. I was like, oh my God. Then they get a 10-point lead. They get that. They had the lead. They were going back and forth, but they locked down the 10-point lead. They're getting to the line. The refs are starting to give them the calls they needed. Then Colson gets a 3-point play. It was great. And then at 5:30, they're back up by 10. Then I could tell Washington was totally mentally broken, really mentally broken right there. And then by the end of the third, they're up by 16. That was crazy. The Fever, what I noticed in the third quarter is the Fever they were able to do whatever they wanted to do to the Mystics. They were starting to manipulate them. And I really loved how they were just controlling tempo, controlling rebounding, not giving them open shots, making them work for it. And even though the Mystics were trying to hang in there, and they did eventually cut that lead a little bit in the fourth with the help of the refs, they were never coming back. It was really, really important. And then when one of the Washington players missed 2 free throws, I was like, towards the end of the third, I'm like, this is it. And then Lexi Hull is a Lex trick. She's a Lex trick. She came out and just, her and Kelsey Mitchell in the fourth quarter put the nail in the coffin for that team. Now the refs did come in on the fourth. They had a 14-point lead going in. The refs, the Fever did. The refs come in and start calling some cheap fouls. There was a little bit of cookout. There was a fake foul. They slowed down the tempo. It did allow the Mystics to get back in the game, because that's what refs are going to do for the WNBA to keep these things exciting. We know they're going to do that to the Fever. Fourth quarter, prepare for that to happen every game. If there's a substantial lead, they're going to start chefing it up. They're just trying to create entertainment for you guys. It was clearly fake shit. But then Cowboy KELSEY Mitchell started kicking in. And I'm like, we're going to live and die with her. The lead evaporated a little bit. We're like, oh, my gosh. And I'm like, okay, this is what this team needs to do. Show us that you can turn it back on and beat that team. And they did. At home, that's what you got to do. This was a winnable game, and they did it. They dominated. They dominated this game. There were some moments, but they dominated. And then KELSEY Mitchell, Meltdown Mitchell entered the chat. All of a sudden, she got a little inconsistent. She was probably getting a little gas, trying to force it, make it happen. Then she backed up a little bit. The lead was cut to 6. And then Boston, like, where's Boston at? Boston's just kind of vanishing. Then Boston gets to the line. Right when I wrote down, where's Boston? She gets to the line and chokes. Misses 2 free throws. I'm like, oh, man. But I still held hope. Then they continue to feed her, which that shakes you out of that. I love that. They went back to her. She scored again. And then Cowboy KELSEY was feeling it. LEXI Hole and Cowboy KELSEY just put the nail in the coffin and they broke the curse, man. The curse is broken. So like I said, the Fever did exactly what they needed to do to put this team away, to break the curse, and to send the message that they're going to be okay. I feel really good about the future of how this week will go. As long as they stay healthy in practice, seems like they will. I think they can build off this win, but you got to take it one game at a time. But I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. The Fever, they're not letting us down. They're not letting us down. These are games we can enjoy, and when Caitlin comes back, it's going to be fantastic. Man, if she's healthy enough to come back for the Chicago game on the road, that's going to be crazy. That would be crazy. So let's look out for that. Let's hope that that's a possibility. But look, I don't want her to rush back. We've got some really good playmakers. And again, the Fever did exactly what they needed to do. Have a team win. A team win. I circled everybody that I thought kicked ass. It was like everybody. Everybody contributed to this team win. That's what a team like the Fever need to do when you have a team like the Mystics come into your house. You got to beat them down, break them mentally, send a message. Huge, huge, huge. There you go. Thanks for watching the recap, guys. A short one tonight. I got some things I got to do, but I really needed to talk to you guys and tell you that, hey, we're doing this. So again, Fever get mystical on the Mystics and bewitch them and beat them this time 85-76. Again, my name is Jason J. Daniel. This is the Jason J. Daniel Show. I'm a podcaster. If you're watching this late, check me out at Jason J. Daniel everywhere. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe on YouTube or Rumble or follow me on X. Again, you can follow me anywhere, and you should follow Real Jason J. Daniel, which is my sports TikTok. Thousands of followers. I do daily, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 2 daily Fever updates, depending on what is breaking. And there's so much breaking news with the Fever right now. You should give me a follow on the old TikTok machine, and I won't let you down. You'll get that breaking news. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and go via con Dios. Go with God, and let's go Fever.